Good morning. Today we're going to speak about the present simple tense. Actually, it's the most common grammar form as it expresses recurrent or permanent actions in the present, repeated actions and daily routines, for general truths and laws of nature, for timetables, planes, trains and programs, for sport commentaries, reviews and narration, to give instructions or directions instead of the imperative, in a list of the successive actions, to describe habits or hobbies in a conversation with the words like hope, assume, suppose, and promise, for magazine and newspaper headlines, or with the verbs that are not used in continuous, like want, hear, understand, need, see, know, like, smell, or believe. Present simple includes not just the moment of speaking, but has longer period of time. To express an action that happen at the time of speaking, we use the other form, which is called present continuous tense. The affirmative form of present simple coincides with the form of the infinitive without the particle to. I play, we play, you play, they play. The exception is the third person singular, where we add s or ending es to the infinitive. To run, he runs. To help, he helps. To teach, he teaches. In spelling, most verbs have the ending s in the third person singular. The ending es is added in the following cases. If the infinitive ends in s, double s, sh, ch, tch, or x. Like to dress, he dresses. To wash, he washes. To teach, he teaches. To watch, he watches. To mix, he mixes. If the infinitive ends in y, preceded by a consonant, in this case y changes into I before es. To study, he studies. To cry, he cries. But if there is a vowel before y, we add s. To pay, he pays. To stay, he stays. In the verbs to go and to do, the ending s or es is pronounced s after voiceless consonant except s, sh, and ch, z after voiced consonant except z, zh, j, as well as after vowels, is after the sounds s, z, sh, zh, ch, j, which are called sibilants. The questions in present simple are formed by means of the auxiliary verb to do in the present and the infinitive of the main verb without the particle to. Do I play? Do we work? Do you work? Do they work? Does he work? Does she work? Does it work? If a subject includes any attributes that go before it, we put an auxiliary word from the very beginning. Does your younger sister go to school? The negative form of the present simple is formed by means of the auxiliary verb to do in the present simple, the negative particle not, and the infinitive of the main verb without the particle to. I do not work, don't study. He does not work, doesn't study. She does not work, doesn't study. It doesn't work, doesn't study. We do not work, don't study. You do not work, don't study. They do not work, don't study. In colloquial speech, the shortened forms don't and doesn't are mostly used instead of do not and does not. The shortened forms mostly used in negative interrogative sentences. Do you not know him? Don't you know any news? Doesn't your son go to school? Why don't you go? The auxiliary verb to do is also used in the affirmative form of the present simple to make the meaning of the main verb more emphatic. In this case, the verb to do is placed between the subject of the sentence and the infinitive of the main verb. I do know that he does work there. The verb to be is often used in present simple and changes not according to the main rules. Present simple to be has three forms according to the person. I am, he, she, it is, we, you, they, are. To make negative form, we have to add the particle not, and if we want to make a question, we put am, is, are in the beginning of the sentence. Am I? Is he? Is she? Is it? Are we? Are you? Are they? In a spoken language, we usually hear shortened forms. I'm, you're, his, she's, it's, your, we're, their.
The same with the verb to have. I have, you have, he, she, it has. We have, you have, they have. To make a negative form, we add the particle don't. I don't have, you don't have, he, she, it doesn't have. We don't have, you don't have, they don't have. And to make interrogative form, do I have, do you have, does he, she, it have. If the verb to have is a part of the expressions to have breakfast, to have coffee, to have a rest, to have a dinner, the interrogative and negative forms of the sentences with these phrases are formed with the verb to do. What time do you have breakfast? I do not have dinner at home.
And now let's get back to the usage of the present simple tense. So some examples. If we want to speak about a recurrent or permanent actions in the present, he lives in Rome with his parents and 2 brothers. To express repeated actions and daily routines, she works in a bank, like a permanent state. She takes the bus to work every morning as a daily routine or as a repeated action. For general truths and laws of nature, the earth turns round the sun. For timetables, planes, trains and programs, the plane from London arrives at 9:30. For sport commentaries, reviews and narrations, Williams overtakes Jefferson and wins the race, like a sport commentary. Mr. Thompson signs a deal with Glasgow City, as a review. To give instructions or directions, instead of the imperative, you sprinkle some cheese on pizza and then you bake it. In a list of successive actions, Mr. Clyde gets up at 6 o'clock, does his morning exercises, has a shower, and then reads a morning newspaper. Or to describe habits or hobbies, he plays bowling. In a conversation with the words like hope, assume, suppose, and promise, she assumes they are mistaken. For magazine and newspaper headlines, Cyprus Cup win shows England's strength. And with the verbs that are not used in continuous, want, hear, understand, need, see, how, know, like, smell, believe, she understands everything he usually has in his mind. So we also have some words that show us that for sure we are going to use present simple, that this action is repeated, that this action is daily or like a routine or a habit. The words like always, generally, every day, often, seldom, once a month, never, sometimes, twice a year, in the evening, or like we sure that he does something every evening. Or we are sure that he does something every evening, then of course we use present